Okay guys, we are going to kick off. Thank you all for joining me today for the CSP Power Up webinar, my very first webinar, so go easy on me please, and the very first webinar broadcast live from the MWH Learn Lab. We're downstairs at the moment. I have John here helping me out. So I'm going to kick off. So the CSP Power Up is basically, it's cashback the way we used to know it, but it's only available on CSP. So the partner opportunity here is that you can get new customers. Microsoft are literally giving you free money to get these new customers. So you're increasing your profitability, you're making your margin at point of sale, plus you're getting cash back on what you sell as well. And because it's Office 365, you're building sticky annuity revenue. So they're going to come back to you each and every year, not just looking for renewals, but hopefully you'll be able to show them what the product can do and upsell. So instead of selling Exchange Online, you'll be able to add on the full suite or EMS or some of the Azure stuff as well. It's designed to help resellers make more money, and that's what it's for. It's literally Microsoft giving you free money for doing what you're doing anyway. It's open to CSP only. It's not open to open license customers or any other way of buying Office 365. It's CSP only. So what you need, that link you see there, the CSP Power Up registration, that is a live link, and we'll be sending out these slides to everybody afterwards, so you can click there to register. You have to have your MPN ID, and that ID has to be a valid ID. So if it's expired, it won't let you register. If you haven't renewed it in a couple of years, just go on and do it. You don't have to pay. It's not the action pack or a competency. It's free to renew. You just have to enroll in the Cloud Services Program. You have to register with a business email address, so you can't do Yahoo or Gmail or Outlook or any of them. It has to be a business email address, and it has to match the company that you're registering for. So me, to register for Micro Warehouse, it would have to be Nicole at mwh.ie. I can't use a different one. Microwarehouse.ie, it has to match what the MPN ID says. What qualifies for the Office 365 cashback? So Office 365, obviously, all new tenants. So anyone moving from open license over to CSP unfortunately doesn't count. It's only new tenants. Same with Dynamics 365, any new tenant. EMS, again, any new tenant, and Azure, everything. So even Azure moving over from Open or EA or any of those, it's considered a new Microsoft tenant. So that counts for cashback as well. So resellers can earn up to $25,000 per product. So $25,000 on 365, another 25 on Dynamics. If you do that, you won't get any more. They have it capped at $50,000 per reseller, $50,000. The reason it's done in dollars is that's just the way Microsoft measure it. And then when it's being paid out, which is in October, they'll use the conversion rate or the FX rate at that time to convert it into euros. On Office 365, if you were to sell the highest SKU, you'd be getting $73 per seat. That's per seat, not per tenant. So if you have 10 seats, that's $730 on it. To qualify for cashback, you have to have a minimum of 3 deals, and each of those deals has to have 5 seats or more. So it's worth, if you have a big one there for 20 E3s or 50 EMS, it's worth putting through 3 Skype for Business by 5 just to qualify to get your foot in the door for cashback. And then once you get the 3 deals with 5 seats or more, everything after that counts and will qualify for cashback. So even single seats, 1s, 2s, 3s, they'll all count once you have the initial 3 deals with 5 seats or more. And that's across 365 Dynamics, EMS and Azure. The way Azure works, it's 20% of all billed Azure revenue on new customers counted in the offer period. So the offer period is from the 1st of February up until the end of June, the 30th of June. And a new Azure customer is a customer using Azure who has consumed more than $200 from February to June. So again, you have to have 3 of those, and once you get the 3, everything after that counts. So yeah, from the 1st of February to the 30th of June, you earn your incremental incentives on sales. And that's again across all of them. I have the live links. I can send them all on to you when this is done. So it's running up to H2. So H2 obviously is Microsoft's January to July because their year starts in July. So by the end of July then hopefully we'll have a new one. But we know that this one is not going to be extended. You have to register. That link is live. You register with your MPN ID and that must be done before June 1st. That's when the portal closes. If you come to me on June 2nd and say I forgot to register, there's nothing I can do to help you. If you register now, it'll be backdated to February. If you register on, you know, the end of August or the end of May, it'll be backdated to February as well. And it'll be paid out around October 2017. And that's once all the criteria has been met. So there's a ceiling, as I mentioned earlier. So the ceiling is $25,000 per product and $50,000 per partner. So if you get to your $25,000 on Office 365, not only would you be my best friend, but you'll be rich. You'll get your Azure as well if you get there, but then it'll be capped. You won't earn any more than $50,000. And just to reiterate there that the email address you use must be a company domain for the company that you're claiming for. This is just an example. So you can see on the bottom box there, number 1, they have 3 deals. One has 5 seats, one has 17, and the other has 6. That qualifies them, so they're across the border. Everything after that is eligible, whether it's 3 seats, 4 seats, or 50 seats, and then it's capped at $25,000. So they can earn up to $73. So obviously $73 is for the E5. E3 is you're talking $40 per seat. Like even the Skype for Business, which is €17 a year, you're still getting $3 back on that. Office 365 Business, like it's a no-brainer. It's free money for Microsoft. You may as well register and you may as well claim it. If you don't, it'll be just sitting in their pockets. On the Office 365, it must be a net new customer and it includes all commercial and government SKUs. It doesn't include the free academic SKUs, obviously, because they're free. The Dynamics one is very similar, so 5 seats, 17 seats, and 6 seats. That gets them across the line. If those 3 seats that are in box 2 had been down below, they would have had to have another one. So if your first 3 deals are for 3 seats, you won't get paid on them until you qualify. But once they're in the same period, so once they're in the period February to June, they will be added on at the end. So yeah, you have to have the 3 to qualify. It doesn't matter when you sell them. The other ones will come back and you will get the cash back on them as well. You see the Dynamics there. You're getting like $75 cash back for Dynamics Enterprise Plan 1. It's free money, guys. So this is just a quick example. So just on the customer A there, the tenant count 1. So he has 10 seats. He has met the criteria, but he doesn't get a rebate because it's his first deal. He doesn't have another 2 deals there. Customer B, he has 4 seats. He hasn't met the minimums there. Customer C has 5. They've met the minimums, but getting nothing because they haven't met the requirement to qualify for cashback. Customer D, again, 5. They get nothing because they haven't met the requirements to qualify for cashback. But now that they've got those 3, customer B all of a sudden qualifies and they get a $75 rebate per seat. So that's a $300 rebate. I can go through this in more detail at the end if anyone has any questions. This is just another example of the EMS one. So on EMS, if the 5, 17 and 6 seats get them across the line, and then the 2, 17 and 4 seats, they qualify for cashback, and that's sealed then at $25,000. They must be net new EMS customers, so not had EMS before, and again it includes commercial and government. It doesn't include the academic SKUs. This is the Azure one. So the payout is 20% of all qualified billed Azure revenue. And that's new customers. So every new CSP Azure customer is considered a new Microsoft customer because there's no migration from Open or from EA. So it's a brand new tenant. Even though they've already had Azure before, it's still considered a brand new tenant, and Microsoft view it that way, and you will get cash back on it. It's very similar to the Office 365, so you have to have the minimum of 3 new customers. Once you get your 3 new customers who have been billed $200 or more, everything after that counts as cashback. And again, it's 20% of everything that you sell, free back into your bank, cold hard cash. An example on the Azure payout, so you can see there customer B doesn't qualify because revenue is below the threshold, which is 200. But once he gets to customer E, he's got the 3 new customers, and all of a sudden customer B qualifies because he's got the minimum 3 new Azure deals. A couple of FAQs on it. So when will I be paid? Microsoft usually pay out on these 90 days after it closes. So that works out about the end of September, the beginning of October. The way they work is if the CSP tenant is still running by the end of September when they're paying out, then they'll pay out on it. If you start up a subscription now and you cancel it on, say, the 1st of July or the 10th of July or whatever, or August, it won't be paid out on because it's not still running at the time that's being paid out on. The maximum payout is 50,000 per partner and 25 per product per partner. We have more T&Cs. If anybody wants them, let me know, or they're available on the cashback website when you register. Are these worldwide incentives? Yeah, they are. They apply to all micro warehouse customers, no matter where you are. Everyone can claim for them. Obviously except where CSP is not available because it's not available on any other license. Can I qualify for these offers as well as other promotions at the same time? Microsoft says it depends on the restrictions on the other promotions. However, CSP PowerUp are independent of other promotions. So yeah, you know, Micro Warehouse have a couple of deals on at the moment where we've got one of those deals on open license now for this week that ends tomorrow. That doesn't impact cashback at all. You can claim this. If you're a managed partner already getting rebates, if you're getting rebates from Microsoft or whatever, this is on top of it. It's not instead of it. You don't need to pick one or the other. This is on top of what you're already getting. You have to register. Again, that registration portal is a live link. It's live now. You can go there, you can register once you have your MPN ID, and it's all up to date and everything. If anyone needs help getting their MPN renewed, just let me know. So Microsoft will validate your claim. So when you register, they'll ask for your MPN ID, they'll ask for your username, and they'll ask you to enter a password. Once you do that, you're considered, you have to accept the terms and conditions. Once you do that, you're considered registered, and Microsoft will then keep a tally of all your sales. So you don't need to register every time you make a sale or every time you need to claim something. You don't need to do it every single time. So when Micro Warehouse are placing orders through CSP, or when you guys are doing it through our portal, you automatically attach on the MPN ID. That's why that's so important, and that's how that customer is attached to you, and that's how Microsoft see it as well. So once you do that, you will be paid cashback on it, and they'll add it up themselves. What do I need to do? So you need to have your banking details up to date on the Microsoft Partner Network. Once if they're not up to date, Microsoft will contact you and they'll let you know that it needs to be updated. They'll contact you up to 3 times, and if they still don't hear from you, then they will just let the money go back into the pot or whatever, spend it on a good night out. So it's worth doing it, and it's worth doing it right. So the MWHCSP portal, I know most of you are already using it. If you're not, I can come out and visit and talk you through it, or I can do it over the phone. But it's your own secure username and password. It's constantly updated based on your feedback. You know, you ring us up, you say you want this, we have a team working on it and we can get it done. So you're managing your own portal. If you're out on the road, you just need to send an email, Nicole, add this on, or one of the guys will add it on. You've got your own dashboard on the home page, and that's to easily track your progress and sales. I have a screenshot of it on the next page. I'll show you in a sec. And there's no need to deal with the VLSC team ever again on that license, only on open. So VLSC support are a goner as far as we're concerned now. Again, it's a centrally managed portal where you can apply and assign licenses as well as add and delete users. So this is what it looks like when you log in as a reseller. So you have your what's new box. You can make that go away, but basically that just shows you what the micro warehouse team have added since you were last on. And it's stuff like how to generate Azure usage reports and, price lists being updated and bits and pieces like that. Again, it's all based on your feedback. So if you go to do something on the portal that's not possible, let us know and we'll try and get it done. And we've recently added a support button into the portal, and that's 24/7 support. So if we're not in the office, if it's the weekend or the evenings, you can get 24/7 support on it. The subscription shows you obviously how many subscriptions you have. This is just a demo portal and I haven't used it in a while, so you can see there's a 0% increase in 30 days. The pie chart at the bottom just shows what mix of seats you have. Again, they're all suspended and they're all out of action, so that's why I'm getting all those zeros. Once you click on the customer tab, you go in and you'll see a full list of all your customers. This is just a demo one, so Rob very kindly let me use Driver Global Solutions, and I took a few screenshots with that. So you can see the black dashboard on the side, the black menu. So you have your dashboard, your customers, and the resellers is a micro warehouse only feature, I'm afraid. You click customers, you see a list of your customers. You click service health, you see if there's anything wrong. Price list will give you both usage-based, which is Azure, and seat-based, which is Office 365 pricing, and it's up to date. It's updated every time we update our price list. The analytics tab will let you know if you have unassigned licenses, if you need to do anything else with licenses. Auditing is similar. You can see if licenses are assigned, you can assign them if you need to. And then the administration is where you can go in and you can reset passwords for your own internal users. If you need to reset a password for an end user, you just click on the little more button beside the end user's name, the little grey button there, and that'll give you a drop-down list, and the very bottom option there is to reset password, and you just reset it and it generates one of those cool passwords with exclamation marks and open brackets and random numbers and letters. Again, any problems with it, you can give us a shout. But once we add on a license, sorry, that's just the service health one. So I've knocked off all the licenses in there. So that's why my OneDrive is not working, and that's why my SharePoint is not working since the 3rd of the 2nd. They've been switched off. So that's why they're critical. But, if someone rings you up and says, Nicole, my Exchange hasn't worked and I haven't received an email since this time yesterday, you can go on there and see, is there an issue? If not, you need to raise a ticket. If there is an issue, you just need to say it's a Microsoft update. They reckon they'll be back in whatever time. You click the little red exclamation and they'll let you know when it'll be back. That's how you manage users and licenses. So just to the previous page, when you click more, that's what you get. So you can manage users, reset passwords, add users, check the service health of that particular user. You can add domains, raise support requests, see what licenses are being used, and see who's using them as well. And this is just a quick one. Our Learn Lab, we had Andy Malone, the Cloud and Data Center MVP, over last week, and we had a really good 2-day training course with him. He was really, really good. We've managed to secure him unexpectedly, so we apologise for the short notice of the announcement. He was supposed to be somewhere else that got cancelled, and we had been looking for him for another date, and he came back to us with this. I think this next one after this is November or something. So we grabbed him with both hands. So he's going to be doing 2 courses with us. One of them is an Office 365 3-day technical training pass, and that's based at passing your exams. and the other is just a one-day Active Directory. Both are going to be held in the Learn Lab here in Micro Warehouse, which looks a little bit like that. It's cool. So feel free to register. If you just go to learn.mwh.ie, all the details are there. We've been nominated for Distributor of the Year again, and as most of you know, I missed it last year because I was on maternity leave. Today is actually our little girl's first birthday, so I missed the ICT Awards, Tech Excellent as they're called now. So I missed it, and they won for the first time while I wasn't there. I was gutted from my hospital bed. So don't forget to vote for us again this year, because I'd love to go and put on my fancy dress and me hee-hylers. And then March Madness, this is what I mentioned earlier. So it's just a Microsoft licensing voucher giveaway. It's only open to open licensing, and it closes tomorrow. So all you just need to buy. So it was only for the week, and for every €1,000 you spend on Microsoft, you get a €10 all for one gift voucher, up to a maximum of $3.50 per order. You don't need to register. We're going to dispatch them via email once the order's invoiced. It closes tomorrow, so get placing those orders if there's anything that you're waiting on. I'll take a few questions if anybody has any. I can't see. Yeah, so how do we get access to the MWH CSP portal? I can send out usernames and passwords for anybody that's already registered. For anyone who's not doing CSP already, I can send you on the CSP application form. It's very like the MWH business application form, except all we need is a signature. And it's just to agree to the terms and conditions. So I can see if a client has an unused Office 365 tenancy, can it be eligible? No. So if it's already an Office 365 tenant that's up and running, then Microsoft won't recognize it as a new tenant. What about moving a customer from another provider from CSP to CSP? Is there a rebate for that? No, again, because it's an existing tenant, Microsoft won't recognize it as a new tenant. It's just moving from one place to another, really. Is there a way to see the progress of the qualifying orders? It would be great to see. Yeah, it would. Unfortunately, there's not. You have to trust Microsoft. Once you register your MPN ID, then every CSP order that's placed will go off that, but you have to wait until the very end, and then Microsoft will they'll just pay out. They'll add it up themselves and they'll pay it out. I mean, I have all the figures of what's available on each plan if anybody wants it, but you would literally have to go through it yourself, through all your orders, add them up, what you should be getting, and it's probably more hassle than it's worth. It's not free money if you have to do all that work for it. There was one there from Susan about a trial tenant, and would it be seen as a new customer? It depends on how long the trial has expired by. I mean, if you only set it up last month, no, I don't think so, but I'll get clarification on it. If there was never any licenses added to it, it may qualify. So I'll get clarification on that and come back to you if that's okay, Susan. Is there any other questions?
We have a question here from Owen Scott. If our customer was a software-only Office 365 client, would they be eligible for this offer if they signed up to Office 365 email plan?
So when you say software only, do you mean like they had business or something? Then no, because it's still an Office 365 tenant that's in place. It doesn't matter what type of license was on it. Once it's an Office 365 tenant, then it won't qualify, unfortunately. Thanks, Owen. I hear we have Jonathan on. Jonathan is saying that there is a reporting tool. Sorry, Jonathan is from Microsoft. Jonathan, we're just unmuting you there if you want to chip in.
Yeah, hi Nicole, thanks for that.
Hi.
Okay?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're driving, are you?
I am driving, sorry. So, yeah, no, it's just to say that in the registration portal where you sign up for the Power Up incentives, there will be reporting available to the partners so that you can
Excellent.
actually see what you're accruing. And that should be, they were hoping to have it live by the end of this month, but I think it'll probably be in the next week or so that we should see it.
Okay, that's brilliant. So that was never there before, and that'll make life a lot easier for the partners.
It will. It'll make it a lot easier. And if you need anything in the interim, we do have access. So if somebody's curious, just before it's available, just let us know. And we can, if you want to do it through Nicole, and she can ask us, and we can get you an interim update on the eligible deals that you have.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jonathan.
No worries.
Does anybody else have any questions for Jonathan while we have him? No, it doesn't matter where you buy the licenses from. Once your MPN ID is added, and we will always add it, so put everything through us, Declan, because we always add it. Other people make mistakes, but we don't. But no, it doesn't have to be through a single disty. Once your MPN ID is added, it goes off you as the reseller. We don't get anything. We don't even have visibility of what you've qualified for. So that's why I didn't know about it. So no, it doesn't matter where you bought it once it's through CSP. Okay, I think that. Oh.
Joanne Cree has just asked, is this offer for Tier 1 CSP?
You'll have to check with Microsoft on that one, Joanne. I am not sure. We're Tier 2, so I only have information on that, I'm afraid. Okay, I think that's everybody. Thank you all very much for taking time out of your busy day. I know it's hard, and I know when these things are organised at short notice that it is hard to get time, but hopefully it was of benefit and it wasn't a waste of your time. If anyone has any questions or would like more information, don't hesitate to email me. It's just Nicole, Nicole, @mwh.ie. Thank you all very, very much.